Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to Borderlands 3, and I have to say I'm really impressed with Gearbox, with the fact that they keep buffing loot drops, and even better, some of the characters in the game. One of the recent patches actually buffs all of these, so there is actually a bunch of changes here that I really like, a bunch of weapons that were made even more powerful than before, including the Lob, which was already an amazing shotgun, despite some people saying that this was nerfed. As a matter of fact, this was actually most probably buffed by the looks of it because of some of the changes in functionality that it had. We also have some buffs to Moze and some of its abilities, so it should make it better compared to the other Vault Hunters, and we have a bunch of events over here that reward some really nice legendaries, so we're gonna jump into all of this in just a little bit. In the meantime, a thumbs up on this video would be super awesome, and let's get to it. Also, our April giveaway is up and running for those who missed our previous one, and if you didn't get a chance to take part in any of these giveaways, simply follow the links in the description down below, choose the game you want from over there, and if you complete more of the points below, you're gonna increase your chances to actually win. And at the end of this, I'm going to announce the winner both here on this channel as well as via the email address provided. In our previous March giveaway, somebody won a free copy of Borderlands 3 Super Deluxe Edition, so there's some really awesome games over here that you can win. As always, huge shout out to Instant Gaming for helping me setting these up. Anyway, we have a bunch of events right now that greatly increase the loot chances and drop rates for legendaries. One of them has been announced last week, called Co-op Loot Drop, and this is going to last for the entire month up until April 30th, and this pretty much guarantees you a ton more legendaries if you're grouping up with friends and completing content in this game. Especially if you're doing that Mellow and Takedown, this is going to be a very good thing to do, as it's going to give you even more legendaries. The second loot drop rate event is called Slot Machine Mania, that was added yesterday with the hotfix, and this exactly how it sounds. It increases your chances to win legendary gear from slot machines at a highly rate, but also increases the grenade spawn rate because come on, who doesn't like a little bit of risk? So now when you go in and activate some of these slot machines, you're going to more often than not see legendary spawning from them. And I'm not gonna lie, I've played for around 10 minutes just playing the slot machines, and this is basically the result. A ton of legendaries all over the place. I even got the level 57 Maggie that I was looking for, so definitely something that is really worth it. But this brings us to the final loot event, which is the Trial Stay Call, also added with yesterday's hotfix, and this boosts the rewards awarded during the Proving Ground trials, and from the bosses to be more specific, that will have 100% chance to drop loot from their pools during this event. And the reason you will want to do these trials is mainly for the class mods. A lot of these trials actually drop very useful class mods, like for example the Phase Zerker for Amara, which is something that you might want if you're freshly level 57 and want to gear up as better as possible. So you might want to take part in these events as soon as possible because they only last for a limited amount of time, up until 9 AM Pacific time on April 9th, which is about a week from this point. But otherwise, I think that Gearbox is probably going to drop in some other loot events once these are finished, because that's basically what they've been doing for about a month at this point. So really looking forward to whatever Gearbox has in store for us in the future. Anyway, as far as buffs go, we have a bunch for Moze, especially in terms of survivability, and apparently Gearbox is also considering bringing more buffs in the future, so honestly this sounds really awesome. First of all, they have reduced the cooldown time for Iron Bear, but at the same time they also increased the amount of fuel required for Iron Bear, which overall sounds like a good buff, because now we're able to cast Iron Bear more often, which means we're gonna be able to take advantage of all of the annoyance that buff up damage or increase your ammo count or give you infinite ammo when using Iron Bear. So definitely sounds awesome. I didn't test this out yet, so I'm not really sure exactly what the cooldown timer is, but overall this does sound awesome, since a lot of the builds that Moze uses kinda rely on casting Iron Bear either to buff up damage or to increase the ammo or give us infinite ammo, which again helps with the DPS. Outside of this, we have increased bonuses to a number of passives, including Behind the Iron Curtain, Security Bear, and Experimental experimental munitions. So all of these changes will obviously affect the red tree, with the biggest one and most important in my opinion being experimental munitions, since this provides bonus incendiary damage on critical hits, about 15% of the damage dealt. But in terms of behind the iron curtain and security bear, I'm not really sure. I don't really invest points into survivability, as I found modes having good survivability already, and it's much better to deal with the enemy faster rather than being a tank in this game a lot of the times. So yeah, it's just a matter of preference. This is the way I like playing my Vault Hunters. Anyway, on a final note, let's also go over the item changes, starting with the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge, one of the very important artifacts from the new DLC that enables a ton of builds to become even better than before. And you probably already saw some of the previous builds that I made with Flak and Amora dealing a ton of damage just from using the Pearl of Ineffable Knowledge. Now previously it showcased about a 35% damage increase, which was obviously not the case, as it more often than not more than doubled your actual damage, while the tooltip at the very least was updated to list 90% damage, and the description has also been updated to show the correct value. So I think that this was the correct value all along, and the tooltip was kinda wrong over there, but I'm not entirely sure. I did go ahead and test this, since a lot of people have mentioned that this might be a nerf, and surprisingly enough I'm still able to deal a ton of damage with the previous flag build that I showcased. So previously I was able to pull like over 500,000 damage after stacking this, and it's still the case. I can still exceed 500,000, still like 600-700,000 damage. Maybe a small little nerf over there, maybe it's not like over 100%, it's just 90%, but this is still a very powerful artifact to have, and it still makes your build so much more powerful. And yes, I even tested this at the full damage potential, and previously I was able to deal at most about 12 million damage, and now I saw about 14 million damage. So at worst it stayed the same, at best the tooltip was updated and maybe it deals a little bit more damage, maybe it was buffed over there, but overall I'm not seeing that many differences, and it's still one of the most powerful artifacts currently in the game if pure DPS is what you're looking for. Now as far as weapons go, the most surprising change was for the lob, and a lot of people got impatient and thought that this is a nerf, but overall it feels like a buff to me. Of course they've increased the fire rate but also reduced projectiles from 3 to 1, so now when you shoot it, it only shoots one of these orbs, but you can shoot it continuously until you fully deplete your ammo, which wasn't the case in the past. In the past you would shoot like bursts of 3, it was still very powerful since the weapon was buffed a while ago, but now it feels even better than that because you're spamming all of these orbs, you can take enemies easier, you don't waste any time in between shots, and overall that coupled with the fire rate increase feels like the lob is way more powerful than ever before. I've tested this against Trount, as you can see he gets destroyed in seconds. Now if you're playing with a character like Flak and want to take full advantage of fade away, this is not going to waste any seconds if you're casting with the lob, so definitely very nice change over there. By the way, I'm also giving away this version of the lob right here, so if you want to get it and take a chance at winning it, just post a comment down below with your username either for Steam or Epic Games Store, and I'm gonna pick a winner by the time the next video drops. And outside of this, we also have a number of other weapons that have also been buffed quite a bit. Damned got a weapon damage increase, Hyperion shields on Hyperion weapons have a more damage absorption, so now they have increased the amount of damage that the weapon shields can absorb. Tig's Boon Shotgun, a drop from the Malevolent Takedown, has increased weapon damage but also damage for the Starfall Meteors, probably making it a little bit better, but since I didn't have one to test around, I didn't get a chance to do that. Nonetheless, the last two are the Moonfire Pistol and the Good Juju, and especially the Moonfire and the Good Juju got like a 35% damage increase all around the board. So Moonfire increased weapon damage as well as critical damage bonus, which was already a good pistol, so now certain builds might take advantage of it, like for example Flex crit build definitely would benefit from a Moonfire buff. Good Juju non-critical hits now increase critical damage bonus by 20%. This bonus stacks 25 times and is removed upon manual reload, but at least my gun also lists a weapon damage increase which isn't listed in the balance changes, so it's still like 35% according to my calculations, feels good. Good Juju was a weapon that seemed very interesting, though it never kinda made it into any of my builds, so now it does look really awesome. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.